Can you check the phone?
We're going to give you some Julius Randle.
I don't even know if you ordered it,
Yeah,
bro.
man, I ordered the food. See, Jordan over here, he over here questioning my
Hey, you
my
see what we on? Hey, yo, you see? Hey, yo, we little...
OG be on top of it.
It's here.
OG
Hey,
be on top
no,
of it,
this
man.
dude Harry Potter. Right when you say it, we open up the door, the food is sitting there. That's crazy. I'm 19 and I dream of wanting to coach basketball in the future. What do you recommend to young people interested in wanting to coach? And what things should we do? Also, how is your process? Great question, George.
Man, that is a great question, George. 19, you're looking to coach. Well, I would say, I always tell people if you want to coach, being a student of the game is number one, right? Studying the game and understanding the game from both sides of the basketball. Even now, you're never too young to really study the game. Learn the nuances of defensive spacing and rotations. Learn the nuances of offense, screening, different type of plays. And if you want to coach, learn how to study and break down film. Film is like the probably the entryway for a lot of coaches to come into either college or the NBA. Like that is a big part of how people come in at this level. They come in as a video coordinator or a video intern. So learning film is a great way to get yourself into the game.
Yep, fire. You drop some bars.
Absolutely. Coming up, Julius Randle, right? We're gonna give you some juice. I call the man juice. Games 1, 2, and 3. Let's get into this breakdown of Julius real quick. Again, back to our slides. Julius Randle, man, he's been a jack of all trades, and he is really playing like a Swiss Army knife. Like that's something that I've noticed as we break down these clips for Juice, that his ability to what? Do different things. I'm gonna ask you again, Jay. Our stream is frozen.
No. We're good.
So I want to make sure everybody.
Pause. They can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into Juice, right? Let's get into some of Juice's
Yo, make
activity.
sure y'all can see everything good in the stream too, right? We just making sure everything good. It's our first one, so let us know. If
Game 1. Let's dive into Game 1 against Golden State. Right? This is where Juice causes so many problems, man. He's one of those guys, if you got a big on him, he can do what?
If you got a big on him, he can go ISO and get to a bucket, and then he also can pass out too as well.
But the thing about it, right, you got bigs on him, he can pull you out to the three-point line.
Too, yeah.
You put smalls on him, he can do
true.
what? Take you into the post, take you to the middle of the floor. He can get you both ways,
Agreed.
right? Tough cover. But this is just a little transition action between him and Ant, and this is what I say about him and Ant's relationship. Trust, right? Ant has Jimmy. Look what Julius does. Got the mismatch. I'm not going to stay on the perimeter and let Ant go one-on-one. No, let me eat up the space. Again, great use of his footwork. Again, Paz is not a little dude either. Paz is a pretty big kid, man. Good size, but Juice says not big enough. Let me get to this nail, right? So these ISOs right here in the middle of the floor are the hardest to double team. These are the hardest plays to double team in the middle of the floor. So that's why a lot of times you'll see KD ISO where? In the middle. Yeah. Dirk used to get where?
To the middle. Shoot, LeBron in the middle.
Yeah, right. Bron. All these guys, man, it's hard to double team in the middle of the floor, right? If you ever watch Porzingis, a lot of his ISOs, not on the block, he gets a small on him, he goes right to the middle of the floor because it's hard to double now. Now Juice has all his vision. Look at Minnesota's spacing, right? Great spacing. You got the best player, strong wing, so Jimmy doesn't want to what? Can't overhelp. Yeah. Who's in this other corner? You got Michael Conley, okay? Steph can't overhelp. Big fella Rudy goes into the dunker, right? If Draymond steps up, what do you have? You got a lob, and then you got Jaden in the corner. So this gives Julius all the space in the middle of the floor. I just love play low. Let me get low, okay? Let me give you a little jab work, and then I'm just going to get to my midi and shoot over the top of you.
As a coach, are you going to tell them to not show? You just going to have them go once?
Well, here's what you got. Here's what. Well,
it's 2-2, and it's early. You don't want to show that.
But also too, even if it was late game, depending on who's here. I mean, depending on who's on this wing, you're not going to double off of Anthony Edwards. You're not going to leave him to go take away what we call. Sometimes you're going to say, "What we got to live with something." What are we going to give up?
That's what the Lakers did in the first series.
You're going to have to give up something. You're not going to stop. You're not going to stop teams from scoring. So when we game plan in the playoffs, you say, man, what are we willing to give up, or what kind of shots do we want to be able to force them into? Juice is just right now. He's just isolated.
He said, does that count as 1-4 flat?
Yeah, it can be, right? But they're not all flat, right? So Anthony Edwards, again, is above the break. So a 1-4 flat would be all offensive players along the baseline down here, right? And Julius would be the only player. So if Anthony Edwards if he was to like cut into this area right here, then it would be almost a 1-4 flat, right? But again, they just have great spacing. And it's just midi, right? Let me get to a midi. Let me get to a pull-up. And this is what I call drive to a post, right? Drive to the post. And again, that's great, right? This is just great. Watch Juice, right? And this is out of a little play, right? You get a little horns action, right? He sets it, fluff, and then watch what Rudy does, right? Little horns flare, if you want to call it horns. Some people call this horns chest, horns flare. You got all these different names for it. He sets a flare screen. Now Jimmy switches onto the ball. Juice says, oh, let me give you this little overhand cross. Jimmy does what? Great job. Juice says, let me turn my back on you. And again, what I always say, Jay, look at the base. Look how wide he gets.
2-1, the 2-1 Phil Handy special.
We
wide
call
base.
this, you want to teach players how to learn how to control and get to your back foot. Most people learn how to fade off of their back foot. Look where he goes.
It's tough.
That's a tough shot, and that's great defense. That's great D by Jimmy, right? That's just a tough shot, right? Tough shot. And again, Stack, I'm going to show you, right? This is what we say as coaches. Man, that's good D. We're going to live with that. You know, watch Stackhouse, right? Good bucket, watch Stackhouse. Hey, man, that's good D. We're going to live with that.
Hey, I rock with that. Hey, I love that.
But this is part of the game plan. Yeah. You have to. What you going to get upset for?
Can't.
That is a tough bucket. Great defense. Stack says, great D, Jimmy. But this dude, watch right here. He said, babe, I told you he was good. I told you he was good in the trade. I told you. Watch. He's like, babe, I told you that guy can play.
Hey, yo. This funny,
oh, man. Little floppy action.
But it's
right?
two floppies. You can run a two like that?
Yeah, what you mean two?
They look like they both about to run.
They just ran into each other. That's all. They just ran into each other. But this is floppy. So people say, well, Coach, what's floppy?
Are you trying to get the switch initially right here?
Floppy is you have a screener. My bad, Jay, and I'll get to your question. Okay. Another screener. And then you have two guys in the middle of the paint, right? Usually we'll set a screen for each other, and then they're able to come off of pin downs. And again, you got Senzo up here, right? Handling the basketball, Paz on high pickup. So your question was, what were you saying, Jay?
I'm saying it looks like they kind of screening for each other. Like, you know how like in football where you do a slant route between the two? It looks like they trying to get the switch between the two.
Well, you mean defensively?
No, like on offense. The way they're running it to try and get a switch between the defenders.
Right now, Ant was getting ready to try to go run low. And they just what? They just bumped into each other. It's just simple, just bump. Okay. You see how Jaden, they just bump into each other, right? They don't stop. Again, what I love about it, watch the screen by Julius. Great screen, right? And again, that's what causes, here's the deal. Because it's Anthony Edwards running off the screen, watch what Draymond does, right? Great screen, he gets hung up. They don't communicate. This is where their defense breaks down. Kuminga continues to chase. Draymond says, what? I'm going to help you. Kuminga goes over the top. Julius says, I see all this what? I see all this space. And this for all you point guards out there, this is why we always telling guards about having vision, right? Keeping your head up to where you can see plays and make plays. Senzo got his head up, so now he can see what? He can see Ant. Look how he's surveying the floor, right? Floppy, let me break the pressure, see my openings, and it's easy play. He's able to see Juice on the slip. Yeah. Again, show it to you one more time. And this is what I love about you, right? Again, Coach Kerr says, man, talking to the ref, watch this. Kerr says, man, you know what? Seen enough, timeout. Let me get a timeout right there. And this is what I say about Juice, jack of all trades, right? Now he's going to facilitate the offense. So now they're in a little bit of a 5 out. You got a bunch of guys. You see a backdoor by Jaden.
He tells him the
right?
backdoor, too.
Yeah, because why? Where's Potts? Can't see him. He's off the screen, but where's he playing?
He probably top locking it.
He's on the high side.
Yeah.
And again, look what's down here on the floor. There's nobody down here. Pods is top locking, and there's nobody where? No defenders below the free throw line. Look at Minnesota's offense. Look where Jimmy is. Look where Dre is. Everybody's above the free throw line. And then Buddy is what? Hugged up to Ant.
Yeah.
Okay. Julius facilitates. Again, yes, he's telling them. He's telling them backdoor. Facilitates, sees this, runs a little flip. Okay. Buddy is out of position. We throw a little pass. This is what he's doing, man. He's facilitating their offense in a bunch of different ways. Elbow, okay? Let's get him to the elbow. Again, pin down. And this is, by the way, they're running a pin down for who?
Nas. Big Jelly.
And this is some of the things that we do. Game within the game. You have a 7-footer that can come off pin downs. You can use smalls to set screens, pin down. Okay, great job by Kuminga chasing. And again, Draymond, look, here's what Dre does. This is what he does really well. Right? He's always helping his teammates, right? But in this situation, he backs off of Juice, and Juice what? Says, you know what? I'm not just going to shoot this. I'm going to eat up all the space. I'm going to eat up all this space on you, Dre, right? Then I'm going to roll off your body because you're trying to take a charge, and I'm going to finish, right? Again, show it to you again. Design play. Facilitate, and then coach says, hey, come on, Dre, stop flopping. Stop flopping. Get up.
Hey, man, it's tough guarding Julius because
it's tough.
Reads everything,
man,
any physical.
Because, listen, that dude can dribble, pass, shoot, post up, whatever you want. He can do it all. He can do it all. You get a little double team, right? And again, this is just catch and go. Watch this. So what's in his mind, right? This is what we call just having eyes. Look what Juice. What does he read? He reads Draymond. Again, I told you Draymond's what? Always one of those guys, right? This is where their defense kind of breaks down right now. Typically, we talk about low man defense. Low man defense should come from who on this drive? This is where we talk about breaking down the floor. I'm going to break down the court for you guys real quick. And because this is how we would teach shell drill, right? In a shell drill, this side of the floor right here is what we call what? Strong side. Julius is driving where? Driving left. This side of the floor right here is what we call the back side or the weak side, okay? Because the ball is going away. So right now, if we're going to break down our defense in the shell in practice, Kuminga should be the low defender. So he should do what? He should catch any drives, right? He would be the low defender, and then Draymond would move into this space and do what? He would be the X-out guy to catch whatever pass, right? If Julius continues this drive, Kuminga comes, Draymond is going to go to help, and he would be the first pass out. Right now.
I like that you showed this because he's going left, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't you, because some defenders would essentially think, okay, especially a younger defender would think, wouldn't Moody stunt, and then go?
He would
But
stunt.
you're saying that Kuminga should be.
Well, here's what I'm saying. If this drive continue right now, I broke the court down for you.
Yeah,
right?
you did. Yeah.
Broke the court. Strong side, weak side. Strong side drive, right? Strong side drive right now. Moody is where he's supposed to be. He'll stunt and then get back to the corner.
Okay.
What happens right now, most teams will teach you we're going to use our low defender, okay? Low defender to come and catch this drive lower to the rim.
Yeah.
Right? This is typical.
Okay.
Typical D right now, but Draymond says, as a high defender, I'm going to go and help. So now look what happens. Right? Look what happens. Look where Kuminga is, right? So there's really no help. And that right now, Kuminga closes out. If young fella wanted to, right now there would be nobody where in the corner. So now this is what I call bad rotations on your defense. Because if this was a shooter in the corner, we're going to rotate out of the corner on a swing to a what? Nobody in the corner, and that would be a what? Another swing. Another swing to a shooter. And this is what I'm saying. This is a simple play, but Golden State's defense breaks down, and Julius makes an elite pass, right? That's just an elite throwback. Simple play, but just his ability to be able to put it on the floor, right? Court vision. Again, this is a design play. B.O.B., call this baseline out of bounds. A design play early in the game, right? Julius middle of the floor. Now we got what? ISO. Okay, look how he uses his vision. Look how he uses a reverse pivot. Watch the play. Reverse pivot, get you a little air. Man, that's all fundamental. There's nothing fancy about it. Watch it again. Vision. Look where he's looking, right? Because the first part of the play is where? It's designed.
I'm confused by this. Yeah, can you please explain this? Because they out of bounds. Do you tell your players to go out of bounds? Because I haven't really seen an interchange like that.
It's not supposed to. Right now, the way this play is designed, freeze it. Michael Conley, right here, is supposed to set a little pin-in screen on Buddy, right? He's going to set a pin-in screen right here. This is what this play is designed. He's going to set this pin in, and then Ant should be able to run off of this screen. Boom. He should be able to run off and maybe get a duck in, right? But the play is kind of broken. Look at Paz. He's pushing Mike where? Look what he's doing. Pushing him out of bounds. So look what Ant does, right? But as this is happening, look what Julius does, okay? No action here. Let me get to the other side of the floor. Look where his vision goes right away. Low defender, right? Now let me finish. Face up. Let me jab you, get you in the air. And what does the low defender do? Step in. Let me throw a kick.
That's tough.
Simple, right? This is what he's doing for them.
You got some questions too, but
absolutely. What we got?
How important is it to time when you attack based on when the defender is 2-9? Can you explain 2-9?
Say it again. How important?
My bad. How important is it to time when you attack based on when the defender is 2-9?
So we always teach our players when the defender 2-9, right? They can only stay in the lane line. I'll show you. Let me go back to this clip. Defenders can only stay in the paint. So right now, okay, this kid here in the corner, can't think of young fella's name, excuse me. Post, yeah. Right? He cannot just stand in the paint. Defensive 3 seconds. He can't stand in the paint. He has to cleanse himself, and that means be outside the paint. So you see where Julius catches. Now, you see where his foot breaks the lane line right there?
Yeah. This
is what we consider. These refs, some refs are really picky. They would say he's in the lane. They're going to start counting.
What?
Just put his foot.
1 foot in, out, and
you got to have both feet out of the lane. NBA rules, you have to have both feet out of the lane, right? So right now, so what happens is, now you see how he steps in. What does Julius do? He kind of waits, okay? Watch what young fella does. He takes a little, like he's going to step back out. So we always tell our guys, if you're going to attack a 2-9, wait for him to cleanse and then attack the paint, right? So this is how we teach players how to understand how to attack a 2-9 defender.
They saying that this got to be Andrew the way he locked in. Look, he's saying a whole bunch of stuff. They like, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, he been talking a lot. But yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, bro.
But this is what Drew. Look, this is
point forward, Drew.
That's what I'm saying. Look what happens. Look at Mike Conley. Mike's not even looking for the ball. Juice gets the ball, surveyed, and this is what he does, right? All right, Mike, run the floor. Let's play drill handoff game. Look at Mike run the floor. We get a little handoff, okay? Get some action. Juice says, you know what? Let me go to the elbow again. Right to the post. What does he recognize? Hey, man, all I need you to do is double me just a little bit. So watch this. Again, this is what I love about Julius, right? He is such a threat. Watch what Buddy does. Buddy digs. Look at Juice. He's looking at it. He's looking at Conley. That's all the space I need. Look at Buddy. Look how Buddy's turned around. Juice says, I see you. Conley, step into my window a little bit. Shoot his face off. Look at Stack. Look at Stack and Coach Bruce, man. Bruce is like, what are we doing? Stack is like, no, come on, man. Because this is what Julius is doing, man. He's breaking parts of the defense down. This is the other piece I love about him. He doesn't stop playing, right? He continues to play. Drive, kick, let me respace. And again, this is where Juice's IQ. Look what he's telling Jalen, drive left, and I'm gonna play behind you. Now, Jay, my man's in closeout. Let me catch and go again. Let me give you a hard change of direction. Change, boom. Let me get you into this post. Hey, bro, this is what this dude is doing. Watch this. I want you guys to see his little separation with his shoulder bump, and again, how he goes low. Let me give you on a drive. I'm going to drive you right to get left. Okay? I'm a left-hand driver. Get you left. Now watch this. Look how he uses low ball, inside shoulder, and watch the inside shoulder takes my man's ability to do what? Now he can't swipe. Okay, he can't swipe down low, inside away, and let me get to that little fade. Tough bucket, man. Tough bucket.
It's great detail right there, Phil. I ain't even gonna lie.
Listen, I'm telling you, man. This is why I say he's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
he's a jack of all trades. He's doing so much stuff on the floor. Okay, now he's putting Draymond in closeouts. Right, Anthony does a good job of cross graining this. Cross grain, snake. People say, well, coach, what's a cross grain? Right. This play's already broken down a little bit. Draymond's in a drop. Okay. Anthony comes off the pick and roll going to his right hand. He sees Draymond in that window. All he's going to do now is I'm going to cross grain or snake it back to the left to make Draymond move. You see how he moves back to the left? And what does Ant do? Keep vision. Buddy, you going to keep chasing me? Let me reverse pivot. Let me get Juice. Now where's Draymond? Puts him in closeout. Juice says, let me pump fake you because I can shoot the three. I'm going to pump fake you, drive by, and let me get this and one. There's a lot of different things in this clip. I'm going to show it to you again. Watch the pump fake. Okay, good pump. Again, he's got Draymond what? In a closeout. Let me drive by you and watch the release because Draymond does what? He's going to reach. Look how Juice releases. You're not going to get your hand on that. Buddy's out of position. But one of the things I like about this play is Juice is Gobert, right? People say, man, Rudy's in the way. Man, Rudy be having people down there wrestling. You have to keep him on the glass. So watch Jimmy Butler. Jimmy's tangled up, can't do nothing. Because Rudy, 7 foot, like, yo, I'm just going to put all this weight on you, hold you off, and let my man get an and one. Those are the type of things that people don't see in a lot of these plays that goes on inside the game. Again, I'm showing you where they're moving this dude around. Now they're running a pin down for him. Pin down. Let him get what? Get a little elbow catch. Watch the reverse pivot.
Yep, reverse.
Right away. And again, Juice says, yeah, I'm a left-hand driver, but guess what? I can get to my step backs going right as a lefty. Man, this is just simple. Great screen by Rudy. Face up and watch. This is what I love about Juice. Look where he's looking.
Yeah, it's tough.
Y'all got to understand, man. Give Julius some credit, man. This dude is been hooping. This dude looks off, right? Is the corner open? Is there a back cut? Where's my defense? Let me go to my footwork. Let me give Jimmy a jab. And then again, what? Give him a little bit of shoulder. I'm strong. Step away. Let me get to that midi. That's tough. I love the pin down, right? Pin down, big for big. And now let me get this dude in the middle. We talked about what? The ISOs being in the middle of the floor, right? These are the things that people try to talk about. How can you put your players in position? And look where they start their offense. Look where Senzo is. Starts with a handoff, okay? Notice that he starts on what? One side of the floor. So this pin down gives Julius all of that space to catch on the pin down and operate. Simple play. Great play, execute, good bucket. And again, he puts a lot of pressure on the defense. He's going to put pressure on the defense and he's going to make the right read.
Oh,
listen, man. This is what I say, bro. People better give this man his flowers, bro. And here's where the play starts. Watch what he does. Who's guarding him? Who's guarding Julius right now?
Jimmy. He's getting Jimmy. And then this is because it looked like they're about to go double drag, but he said, nah, I got the matchup I want.
But no, he says, let me set a screen, right? Let me screen you. Set a good screen. Now Jimmy has to do what? You got to engage on the ball because Senzo can what? He can walk and shoot that three. Now he got who on him? Moody. Instead of having Jimmy Butler on me, now I got Moody on me. Hey, come on. Let me get this ISO, right? Gets the ISO. Senzo says, hey, I see Rudy coming. Rudy said, okay, I see the matchup. Look what they do. Get out of his way, right? Juice does what? Look how
low he gets.
Man, he gets low. Moody's a good defender. Let me show you how low I have to get and watch what happens. Watch what the rip through. Watch what the low rip through makes Moody do what? Take his hands off his body. All right, because then you get the a la Chris Paul, ripping through the body. Take your hands off me, right? Then I'm going to create separation, step through on you. Then I'm going to open up and rip you left, right? And again, because I'm so elite with my spins and my help, I'm going to let this play run, and then I'm going to show you how his court vision is elite. Watch this play again. This is where people don't understand these dudes' IQs and how they're playing. Watch what Julius sees. Look at these 3 defenders, okay? Watch their rotation. Because the drive, young fella helps, Pods has to do what? Now I told you, this is where Rudy creates so much havoc. Now, Pods is pinned in. So what does Jimmy Butler have to do? Knowing that there's a 2-on-1 on the backside, because look where Julius's vision is. He's rolled off. What does he see? He sees this. What does Jimmy Butler have to do? Okay, this is where you guys understand the game at a high level. Jimmy Butler says, damn, I can see this. I'm going to have to X to the corner. He makes Jimmy X to the corner, right? Senzo, I see you. I got vision. He sees him, gets a wide open bucket.
Bro, Chad said, Julius got me hooping in Skechers now.
Hey, man. Hey, Julius.
Hey, bro.
Julius is out there doing his thing, right? So now, got the matchup we want early in transition. Look, watch this. Look at Juice. I want you to see the subtle things you guys do not catch during the game. Look, Julius is like, look, wait. Got the matchup. He's like, slow down, Senzo. Let me get to the post. Let me get to the post for you. Spin off. Let me look early. Spin off. Okay, good job. Let me keep my dribble. Watch this.
Oh, man.
Hey, listen. This is
hip to hip on the baseline.
Bro, listen. Let me roll off on you. Great job. Okay, he sees what? Moody does a good job taking the first move. Julius sees the help by Kuminga. He says, let me keep my dribble live, right? They're not going to double me. Not going to double me. And again, this is where Rudy, I keep telling y'all, Rudy causes so many problems when he's down here in the dunker. Jimmy Butler can't help at all because he's like, man, I got to wrestle with this big dude. So Julius says, I'm one-on-one. Look at all the space he has. Moody's fighting for his life. Look, he gives him a shoulder bump. Watch Moody's shoulder bump. He tries to bump him to stand him up. Juice is like, I'm too strong for that. I'm just going. Look at the shoulder drop. Let me say, Keem, I've been watching you. I've been watching you dream. Look at that. That little shoulder drop gets Moody to go where? And that's all the space that Julius needs to get to the front of the rim and finish. Ooh-wee. Hey, bro, this is why this dude now, he puts you in so many tough positions, okay? Handoff game. Again, Draymond's in a what? Drop. Julius said, I'm just going to pick and pop you. I want you to see it again. This is what Mike Conley. Now Mike Conley, your point guard. What's he reading? He's reading Draymond. Look where Draymond is. Off the ball. That's all the what? It's all the separation we need, okay? Julius says, hey, man, I'm just going to pop back. I'm going to set my feet. No hesitation. Again, he doesn't even hesitate on that at all.
Facts. Froze him like Sub-Zero, GOAT. You ain't lying, dog. I ain't gonna lie. I see you with the bars too, yo. I see you with the bars,
yeah, bro. And again, I'm showing you guys all these different things that he does well that people just don't catch. And again, this is just game 2, right? Watch this. They're doubling for some reason. For some reason, they got 2 people on Jaden. Now Ant's in the pocket. Ant recognized, reads the defense, swing to a swing.
And this is what I love about Ju. Now.
Simple.
Ju, I think with the Knicks, might have taken that.
He might have, but I'm going to show you.
And now he's making that extra pass.
Okay? Look at him. Look, he's already set. Hands. Watch his vision, okay? Because, again, Golden State's defense is a little broken down on the backside. They got 2 on the ball. Draymond comes over. Pods has to do what? He has to account for the baseline. Nobody rotates to Julius, okay? Swing. And, again, here's what should happen on this defensive play. People say, well, Coach, man, how do they even stop this? Right now, we call this a peel off, okay? Kuminga is going to peel to Julius. Right now, Pods should stunt and fall. Stunt, short stunt, and fall back to Senzo in the corner. That's what we call that, stunt and fall. But again, watch how he commits. He really commits. And again, that just leaves Pods, okay? That leaves Senzo wide open. Great pass. I hope you guys are really paying attention to what Julius is doing. Watch his vision, dog. Right? Goes away. He sees one. Watch where he looks. Look at all this stuff that's going on with Anthony Edwards. Okay? Juice sees it. Let me throw a little lob over the top for you.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, I'm rocking, bro.
Hey, man.
I'm rocking, bro. I'm rocking.
People better give this dude his flowers, man.
I'm rocking, dog.
Because he is doing a lot of stuff for this team. And again, this is great by Anthony Edwards, right? Watch what he does. Let me get to your body. Let me push you up. You want to be able to create a pocket on the backside when somebody's top locking, somebody's on the high side, Juice just say, hey, I'm just going to throw it to the corner of the backboard for you, AE. You go get it. It's a great pass.
And just pause real quick. The Jew and Ant-Man connection, like the workouts have changed. If you know Ant-Man's workout, like he used to work out around like 5:30. Now he work out like 4, like right before anybody, even media, is allowed in there. And him and Juju are working together a lot of the times. And shout out C. Hines because he got both of the guys, I'm
going to give a shout out to C. Hines, and I'm going to give a shout out to my man Tyler Ralph. Tyler's been with Julius for years.
Real one.
Right? Yep. T. Ralph has been with Juice for a long time.
Real
those do it like family. So between C. Hines, between Tyler, and Minnesota's coaching staff of just helping them to figure out, man, how do we play together? How can we be successful? How can we be a 1-2 tandem, man, to where these dudes just don't have an answer for us? And this is what you see.
Yeah, shout out. Hey, my bad. Yo, Shati, my dog. Hey, y'all be in the gym super late too. Midnight, whatever time. You guys be putting that work in. You out in Dallas. We need you back in Cali for a couple weeks, my boy. Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
Question. It was it never makes no sense. It said, has Julius always processed this quickly? No. I think if you guys all go back to when Julius was first couple years in the Lakers, right? Juice was what? Wild, out of control. He was trying to get a bucket. What you've seen over the years, man, is just him use his speed and his strength to his advantage now. Now he's none of these clips, Juice ain't out of control. He's in control of his body, his movements, his vision. So over time, you can see this dude really start to develop a better IQ for the game. Okay. Again, this is where he breaks down your defense. Now look, now he got a big on him. Okay. Big. And look what Ant does. Ant said, let me cut out and give my man some space. Okay. But this is what Juice does. He breaks your defense down. Okay. Golden State's eyes. Look at all their eyes. Everybody's got all their eyes. Look at all these players. All 5. Okay. All 5's eyes are on who? On Julius. Julius says, I'm recognizing. All we need is to break the defense down. Look, that's why I say he doesn't stop moving. Let me break the defense down. Kuminga reaches. I get a kick out. Boom. Kill drives it. We get a help. Another drive. Look at Senzo. No hesitation. Put my eyes to the rim. Now we drive. What does Julius do? Ball comes right back to him. Again, this is what we call breaking defenses down. Creating triggers. Can we create a trigger? Can we put teams in rotation? This is what you call putting teams in rotation, right? Great pass, great finish. Again, just continued movement. And again, I want you guys to notice the Minnesota fans, they loving Juice now. They say, man, this is the dude. This is what we've been waiting for. Just watch how he floats to the perimeter. He drives. Let me play behind. Get out of the way. Floats to the perimeter. Now let me cut.
Yeah, I like it.
Now let me cut. Senzo sees it. Great pass. Look, Joe Ingles. I always talk about championship caliber teams. Do you have vets that don't care if they play a minute? Don't care. They're going to be there to support their teammates. Joe Ingles is one of them dudes, man. Joe Ingles, one of them dudes. Now he says, look, now let me show you I can get into my boogie bag. Look at this, bro.
Oh, my God.
Look at this.
I'm not going to lie. I thought you set me up with that, too.
Listen.
You said boogie bag, so I'm thinking we get in the bucket.
Hey.
I ain't going to lie, bro.
My man said, you want to pick me up at half court? Look at this, bro. They got 2 combo guards on the floor. Who's handling the basketball right now? Juice is like, I got this. Don't worry about it. Let me give you this little front back, right? Switch my man's feet, give you the overhand cross. Watch this. Here's what, again, this is where his vision has become elite. Being able to read the backside of the floor, okay? Being able to read these low defenders, right? You players want to talk about, coach, how to get my court vision. He sees, look what Nas does.
Wow.
I'm telling you, bro, this is like high level, simple.
Wow.
Simple plays, right? But you guys don't understand some of the things that go on in the game. Nas recognizes the low defender, which is right here. He's the low defender, right? I'm going to show this for you again. Young fella, and my man, I give a shout out to this young fella too. You want to go from being a all-star, elite level, what do you play, lacrosse?
Lacrosse, yeah.
My man lacrosse and said, I'm dropping lacrosse. I'm becoming an NBA player. Wasn't he like one of the best players in the country in lacrosse?
Yeah, he was.
That's crazy. A young fella comes over as the low man, right? So when the low man comes, that means the next defender is going to have to drop and account for Nas, who's in the dunker. But Nas says, you know what? I'm going to give myself up, and I'm going to screen the rotation. That's going to give my teammate wide open look. And look at the young fella sitting courtside. My man got the Dennis Rodman. He got the Dennis Rodman.
The Nas Reed joint jersey on, too.
He got the Dennis Rodman look, and my man says, ooh, look at that screen Nas set. You see that screen? Threes, please. My man said, let me get the three above the head.
I see you liked it in Young Goat. He said that's a great screen by Nas. Chat, yep. And young light skin. Nah, he is a good fit. Tyler, yep.
Last piece here, Game 3. Y'all see the subtitle. He's the first T-Wolf to have a triple-double in the playoffs since who?
KG.
Boy.
Big ticket.
That man had a triple-double in Game 3 against the Warriors. Let's take a look at it.
I'm glad you came with the fun facts, too, dog.
Man, bro.
Right.
Watch this. Now, he said, I'm going to show you. I've been doing all this stuff on the perimeter.
Head on the swivel on the screen, posting. Too. You see how he looking.
Yeah, look what he's doing. No, hold on. This is where y'all don't understand Julius' his IQ. Look what he tells Nas to do. What does he tell Nas to do?
Backdoor.
He tells him to cut out. So because now we would have a clear side on this step up. He tells Nas to cut. And look, Julius looks, make sure he cuts. So now he can see where his role is. Now let me get in the pocket. Let me get to this flotation device. Hey, bro, this is elite, right? Conley, being the point guard he is, what does Conley see? He sees the what? So you players say, coach, pocket passes. What's the pocket? This is what you call a pocket right here, right? This whole little area, because young fella, right, is out of position, puts him out of position. Now, let me throw that ball to the pocket. And again, great roll by Juice. Great spacing on the backside.
It's tough.
Tough, man. Simple. Again, little out of bounds play. Again, him and Conley right now. Juice is saying, okay, Conley, come on. Let me flip it back to you. Right? Create a little havoc. And again, now I'm just going to make the simple play. Now watch this. This is where you know the game plan of Golden State says, Nas Reed, give him no airspace. No airspace. Watch what happens. Juice, what does he look at? He sees what? 2 defenders. Kuminga overhelps. Nas says, hey, let me slide away. Look at Kerr. Look at Stack. No!
Hey, yeah, you be knowing the coach stuff. Hey, because I've seen you like this many times.
But
too.
Listen, that is me.
Facts, that is.
As a coach, people be
yeah.
like, oh, gee, man, you be emotional. Yeah, I be emotional because that very play right there, that is a play that in their minds, it shouldn't happen because they're saying, hey, right now, look where Julius has catch the ball. He's inside the three-point line. So I'm going to give you guys high-level IQ of the game when we say, what are we going to give up? Julius is inside the three-point line with Draymond Green guarding him.
Oh, yeah. That's defensive
Why?
Player of the Year candidate.
Let me tell you,
sure.
Kuminga, why are you here when you're guarding Nas? I don't need you here. Draymond has got this. If Juice scores a tough 2, we will live with that. But what we won't live with is this right here. Watch. Right away, they knew. Kuminga, foot off, and look at Nas. Nas is like, I'm going to shoot this 4-point range because I can. Right away. Look at Stackhouse.
He said no.
Look, right away. Look at Kerr. Right away. That's game plan. This is what you have to execute in the playoffs. Put your game plan together, and then we have to understand how to execute it. That's automatic, bro. That's all that tells me. I know what that is right there. Listen, now let me give you some pivots. Now for you IG refs. Hold on, come on. I'm going to invite the IG refs into the chat. Okay, everybody want to call all this stuff travel, right? IG refs. Okay, keeps his pivot. Step through, right? Legal play. So for all you IG refs out there, don't at me. This is just a legal play. And Juice is showing you. Look at. I'm going to show you different things. What he does here, right? Again, these are all the ways he beat you. Watch what he does early. Come on, Mike. Let me set the screen for you. Okay, create a little confusion. Now, what does that screen do? Just that little screen puts Golden State in what?
Switch.
Now they're in what?
Scramble
They're in
mode.
scramble mode. Subtle things like this. These are subtle plays that just put teams. Now he's going to catch and go. Now Moody got to catch up, right? Look at Buddy. Buddy's helping, but he recognizes, nope, you know what? I got to get back to Nas. I got to get back to Nas. And Juice, give me the pump fake. And this, I learned this from Kobe. I'm going to give Kobe much credit. Kobe used to use his head a lot on his pivots, so he wouldn't use elbows. Watch how Juice pump fakes, and then he uses what? He uses his head to move the defender out of the way. Pump, use my head, step through. Boy, Kobe was the master.
Drew learned a lot from Kobe, too. I don't think a lot of people know
Man,
that.
that's where he was the master,
Yep.
right? He was the master. That's a big time. That's a big time play of just him. Again, this is the Swiss Army knife, okay? Again, my man said, no, I'm not going to call travel, but ref, can we get 3 seconds? That's 3 seconds, ref. 3 in the lane, man. Come on.
Oh, man, bro.
Look, I'm showing you guys like how Juice is just moving all over the floor. Again, this is just an elite play. Watch this. Flips the screen, right? Now, this is what we talked. Somebody were asking about the ice. Look where Draymond is. This is where Draymond's icing, right? They're keeping Ant down the floor. Draymond's in the ice, right? He's tracking the basketball. Buddy's not letting him get back middle. This is a good picture of what your ice looks like. But what Anthony Edwards does really well is he reads this defender, right? He reads this defender. And people will say, well, coach, he should be looking at 2 backline defenders. Yeah, he should. But look at these 2. They're not in position. So he reads the next defender. Why? Because Draymond is down the floor as a big. Draymond is here, so that leaves Julius Randle, what? Wide open. So Pods has to account for Julius just in case Ant does what? Throw it back.
Yeah.
Ant doesn't throw it back. He reads Pods. Let me get this skip pass. Now who's open? Put him in rotation. Now Pods is doing what I call making multiple efforts. I'm going to guard this guy. Let me guard this guy. What does Nas do? I just made a 4-pointer. Let me give you a little head fake. Let me draw a kick. Simple game, right? And this is where, again, Minnesota, right, putting in these clips, they're putting the Warriors in rotation, and Juice just say, man, I can spot up and shoot it too.
Julius is.
Hey, man, I'm showing you little subtle things about Julius that are really big. This is great D by Golden State. Right now, who's the threat? Okay, Gobert is the lob threat. Conley's playing the pick and roll, and Draymond recognizes it. Draymond recognizes who's the threat. Let me take the lob away, okay? Again, broken play. Rudy stays on the glass. Now let me kick out, okay? I love his patience here. Watch Julius's patience, man. This is what I call drive to post. Let me drive you, okay? And then watch what Rudy does. Rudy recognizes, okay, let me clear space. Juice says, let me get under control. Draymond does a great job. Now watch what he does. Boom, come on, Ant. Man, this is a great cut. Why? Why is it a good cut?
Because Buddy looks over. As soon as he looks over, that's when he.
Watch what Ant does. As soon as Buddy looks,
Yep, it's over.
Gone. And this is the games that these dudes play. These are the games that happen inside the game a little bit. Buddy, you turn your head, I'm just going to back cut you. Okay? Back cut, Buddy's beat. And again, young fella has to do what? Watch what he has to do with Gobert. This is what gets him dunked on right now. This is why when people say, man, Rudy's in the way, Rudy does this. Rudy does what he's supposed to do. He's on the glass. He's going to make you account for him. Young fella has to do what? He takes one step to Rudy. That gives Ant all of this space to put them dudes in the rim. That's a great pass. Great patience by Julius in the post. Again, watch him and Ant. I'm telling you, this is not by happenstance. These dudes are developing a surefire relationship. Gary Payton Jr., right? Physical, hands-on. Watch what Ant does. I'm not going to fight you. I'm just going to throw you off. Juice, look at the pass, man. And look at the pass, right? Because, again, Golden State, so much space in the paint. Look at Ant. High pickup. Let me give you that what? Let me move that joint around and scoop it up off the glass. Now, show you what he's doing on both ends. Shot. Let me get a box out. Let me get that thing. Let me run the floor now. Okay? Now recognize. Let me stop in this mid-post area. And this is what I call driving the vacuum, right? Subtle, but watch, kill cuts. That kind of opens up what? See how much space he has now? Opens up space. And again, Jimmy Butler, man, he's a strong dude. Big dude. Juice is like, I'm just a little bit bigger, Jimmy. Let me roll off you. Let me roll off and put you down, back you down, roll off. And again, one-on-one in the post, it's tough. That's tough. That dude's a tough cover, man. You seeing You seeing everything he's doing. I love this play right here, right? I love this play because Draymond is a physical dude. But watch Juice. Juice is like, look, man, I'm going to we in the playoffs. You going to play physical? I'm going to play physical too. Watch out. Let me finish. Look at Bones. Look at Bones, man. Is that Bones on the bench? Bones say, yeah, get some of give me some of these plays. But again, this is what happens in the playoffs, man. This is what happens in the playoffs. Look at the Golden State Warrior fans, right? This is why I always highlight the fans, because right now, Juice, this is hand-to-hand combat. I'm going to bump you off. Look at Bones say, let me flex on you. And look, she is not happy down here. She down here sitting courtside is not happy at all. Watch. And then how many fans do you see stand up? Watch all these Golden State fans stand up. As soon as he get the bucket, what do they all do? They all sit back down. They say, hey, man, y'all sit down, man. Sit back down, bro. Again, these are I'm telling you, Julius.
You don't feel every bucket.
Hey,
yeah,
bro,
you're right.
Listen, whoever said it, when Kyrie called that man the baby rhino, look at this, bro. I'm telling you, because watch Draymond. Draymond is physical. Watch how Juice holds him off. Man, let me show you this grown man strength. Watch out. And then I'm going to put you in the rim. Like, this is, and again, this is a little bit of a gamble by Dre, right? You see how he's what? Draymond's a gamble, but he's reading the play. He knows where the pass is coming to. And you see Draymond get a lot of these steals a lot of times. He sees where Anthony Edwards is looking, right? You could tell Draymond's eyes are fixated on the ball, right? Once he gets here, he notices, he's watching, and okay, that pass is going to come to the outside. Let me see if I can get a deflection. But Juice just says, nah, man, I'm a strong seal you. I'm going to seal you off with my hand, with my butt. I'm going to catch that thing, and I'm running to the rim. Put you